wake up world. What do you see? What do you see? You see the center of the lights, the center of the lights. Wake up and within the cosmos of your life. Wake up. What do you see, my friends, within you and me? What do you see? Wake up, my friends. It's the center of life. Wake up within the knowledge of you. Wake up world. It's you, it's me. We're everybody within this world. We're the center of life. We're the center of life. Wake up world. Wake up world. What do you see? Wake up world. Wake up world. What do you see? Wake up world. What do you see? What do you see? You see the center of the lights, the center of the lights. Wake up within the cosmos of your life. Wake up. What do you see, my friends, within you and me? What do you see? Wake up, my friends. It's the center of life.
I say it, wake up world, wake up world, wake up world, wake up world. What do you see within your heart? What do you see within your heart? It's just the center of light, the center of light. Within your heart, within your heart. What do you see within the things of light? What do you see within the things of light? It's the center of light, the center of light. Wake up world, within the cosmic plane, within the universe, within your soul, within your life. Wake up world, wake up world, it's the center of light. Wake up world, it's the center of light. Here's your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard. Here is your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard. It's just the center of light, the center of light is the center of you. And here's your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard. Within the lights of you, within your soul, within the cosmos of your heart, within the cosmos of your beautiful heart, within your soul. Welcome to Center of Light tonight.
Access granted.
Everyone has access. And it's there for you in excess if you want it. Welcome to Center of Light per suggestion of Krista Huggins. She wanted a show about being blocked and all that is. What is it really? How do we look at it, process it, and move through it? Writer's block, if you will, musician block, God block, all that which is good. Why can't I be in the place? Why can I not recognize that I'm in the place? You're never not in the place. We just lose sight of it. Everyone is trying to get somewhere from where they are. But we don't realize that where we're trying to get to is where we are. We are funny. We always want to be somewhere else to find that something else about ourselves that makes us feel better than we do in any said moment. But when you get to that place, you're going to be in the same place you are now, hopefully just in a state of recognizing that which you have not before as to why you were leaning for something else. Block. God block. You know where I got that, right? God block. Center of light. Everyone has access. I think, in fact, I don't think, I know, as well as many of you, it's becoming beyond apparent. Our divine parent is showing us something.
and it's becoming apparent. Not only is it becoming apparent to us, it's becoming apparent. It's being revealed. Hello, revelation. That is the most important thing you could possibly want. Is to become a pure vessel of God that lives in you already. And it looks something like this. Let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. There's no other way. It's truly an allowing, an accepting, and an appreciating this multifaceted, beautiful, spiritual love nugget. Let's say hello to everyone here. Gail, what's up, Gail? Percy Bageron. I'm not sure if it's my childhood friend or his junior son. Percy, is it you or is it your son? Either way, what's up? Suzanne, Leslie Franklin, Heather White, how you doing, girl? Link, Rhonda, Darlene, Crystal Huggins is up here. All right, so hello, Melinda. Hello, Cheryl Nash. Tell Miss Connie I said hi. I love her. I miss her. Center of Light tonight, we're speaking about Center of Light Tackle. Hello, Michelle Gent. Hello, Kelly Curtis. It's always Center of Light, but I follow up with a word. So tonight is Center of Light Tackle. Why did I use the word tackle? Because you got to block and tackle. And then when you play football, you either block or you tackle. So since we're speaking about being God blocked, we're going to tackle that tonight. But I don't mean in the form of aggression like a football player would tackle. Good sportsman you are. We're going to talk about championing the mountain, braving the wilderness, tackling the block. But it's definitely not blasting the wall down. Sometimes you can use that approach to chip away at the stone, if you will. And sometimes your intentional waves of doing things become a tsunami, which is all destructive. So they both are purposeful and they both are powerfully and equally useful. One has to become centered and aware of oneself so much that they know how to wield this magical lightsaber that can do anything and play in any arena and tackle any situation. It's that spot right there. Now, when you open your eyes from that spot, you might go back into being what you call God blocked. So what you do is stay in this space as long as you can, because in this space you're not God blocked. One may say, but when I go into that space, I still don't feel a connection, possibly. I still don't hear my parents' voice, possibly. Both of those, possibly. Whatever the dynamic may be for one person, get familiar with that part of you in that place with your eyes closed, because the eyes can be distractions. And so, after you begin this integration process of often, very often, if often as possible, being in there, it'll carry over into your waking world. Even if this is only a momentary block. No one wants to be blocked, God blocked at any moment. So it could be like for an author that might have writer's block. This may last 6 months to a year. Even a person, you are the author of your life, are you not? Writing your own script? Or the doctor's writing a script for you. We can be the byproduct of grace, BY, the byproduct of grace, or we can BUY, we can buy products hoping that we have some sort of grace in a miserable world. Hello, Abigail. Hello, Karen Jill Schneider. Darlene says, hello, beautiful angels. Lynn Marie, it's been a while. I like what you're doing with the Qigong, girl. I've been watching. Love it. So tonight we're speaking about center of light tackle. God blocked. Block and tackle. Football players block or they tackle. So what is the better football team? The one that's blocking or the one that's tackling? Well, it depends on the perspective. Who are you rooting for? So block and tackle are both purposeful. You can also use a block as part of your strategy. Is it possible? Is it possible the block is not an unconscious aspect of you? This is very important. It's not necessarily true that the block is an unconscious part of you. You could have spiritual grace in your bank account, and spirit itself is blocking you from a something that is not time for you to see, not beneficial for you to see, not beneficial in any way whatsoever. So in other words, you're being done a favor because it's not your season. There is no rhyme, there is no reason, there is no blessing, there is no teasing. It's just the fact of how the universe functions and operates. That's it. So what you can do is maybe take any said block, it's just energy. Remember, the block is only words or word we use to describe, I can't see past this point. I can't be past this point. And I want to be past this point. That's phenomenal. That's the point entirely. So what you use is the very point of where you are, said block, as a tool versus it being a wall stifling your expansion outward into the garden even further. So look at the block, see what it is, see what it wants, see what it means, and how can you begin to spin that very block as something powerful? Well, I'm just blocked. I don't even know how to do that. Yes, you do. Stop. Situation. First thing you have to do is pet it. Nice block. Nice block. Good block. Good block. Does that block want some food? Does that block want his belly rub? I want that block belly rub. Sort of idea. Seriously. So you make it your friend. And then you can spin it however you want, because you've just released it in your listen to forgiveness applies all across the board, not only to people but into your blocks. I forgive you, block. Good boy. I forgive you. You want a treat? You want a treat? Block starts wagging his tail. Now block becomes your loyal companion. And it begins to do what the master, come here boy, says it to do. So you literally take static frozen energy and you begin to loosen it up. This is the play of masters. Well, Keith, I'm not a master yet. Are you sure? You're creating your life absolutely perfect just by being yourself. All conscious parts of you, all unconscious parts of you. Nothing changes when you graduate. Nothing. You don't get stronger with bigger spiritual muscles. You do, but you don't really. You're doing that all already. It's just we need to become aware of those said blocks, those God blocks that bring us into the space, the grace, the gate, the God gate of always simply just being there. Let me share with you one of the reasons people get blocked is because they're not seeing truly where they are. When you see where you are, only then can you see the next place. You can't see through the block because the block is basically law. You can't step on fertile, hyper-fertile ground until you look at your feet and see where you are grounded as you step carefully, step by step by step by step by step. So know that when you claim that you are blocked, you are not blocked. You're just not really seeing where you are. When you see truly where you are, there is no block, there is nothing else. Because when you understand where you are, you realize there is no other place to be. That is it. Peter Coyle, Kim Gary, Robert, Anna, Yusuf, Leslie. Hello, everybody. Tonight's Center of Light Radio. Center of Light Tackle. God blocked. God blocked. I'm a thinking that when we are blocked, we are just not seeing the parts of us that are not blocked. I'm blocked. Okay, I'm blocked. I'm not blocked. I understand it's part of the beautiful process of unfoldment. In that regard, block is gorgeous. What a strange question that just popped up in my head. If you could be truly full-blown enlightened right now, would you do it? No consequences except just wide open. I probably would be yes. And then I would go, you know what? I want to be blocked. For now. At least, maybe give me some. Let me play in that place for a little while. And give me a little bit more. I don't want to play in that place for a little while. And give me another 10 years and then fire me off. See what I'm saying? Because I don't think everyone is beginning to recognize what the garden actually is. At least everyone in this world. In fact, people all around the world, they're beginning to recognize what the garden actually is. And it's not out there. Seek ye, be still and know. It's not out there. And those bad people are the greatest spiritual teachers, showing us exactly what it does not look like. In such a way, these bad people are such good spiritual teachers. They're helping everyone else to become unblocked by showing us the world we have been living in and the new one that's presented, which is we are willing to sit in quarantine for as long as it takes. But that other world ain't coming back. In fact, I don't want it. The journey towards 1,000 years, if it takes 1,000 years to become enlightened, begins with the first step. I've been stepping for years. Unblocked, being God blocked. First, realize that you are not blocked. That word is applicable. But what you have before you, basically, is an energy that is so strong, it actually punched a hole open in your world and congealed itself, be it a physical way, even in a very strong, intense inner way. If it is so intense that you would claim, I'm just blocked. Then what is a block? A block is a square, heavy thing. That's a block. So it's congealed in some fashion, be it from physical to concept. That's very, very big. That's very, very powerful. Because if something loved me beyond measure, that it actually formed a block for me to tackle, that it's so dense and so real and tangible for me, it's actually something waiting for me to manipulate, because it's manifested. It's a block. It's a block that you to chip away at or something and carve that block, that cement block, mud block, into that which you want. So the block is truly, truly more powerful than being complacent and thinking everything is fine and hunky-dory. Hello, Kim Gary. Kim says, please, let's send healing to our brothers and sisters in India. Massive cyclone coming to them, as well as everything else going on. They have no proper medical help. There are many refugees taken to rough seas. and are dying as we speak. Please send them healing. That would be a block. That would be a God block. So what I'm doing is in myself, I'm taking this block, believe it or not, the first one, definitely compassion. But the first one is that what I'm seeing is not correct. You can't change it any other way. I'm compassionate for those brothers and sisters. But on another level, I have to ask myself the question, am I seeing the things the way they are correctly? It does not trivialize those people who are in trouble. It doesn't. In fact, it's forgiveness that lifts the entire situation by asking the Divine Parent, help me to see what I think I see, but help me to see more correctly. Help me to see like thee. And then we step back and we see something beautiful unfolding that before we didn't like the way it looked. And that's beautiful. You don't have to like a something. That's part of the skyrockets that fire off, the skyrockets of desire that just, and the universe recognizes intent. Now what? And that now what begins when you take the second step towards 1,000 years. Willing to do anything about it, even that which goes beyond my belief. Belief is a tincture, it's a band-aid, a salve. It's not the truth. The truth is not easy. It's a hammer on the head. It's a chop in the throat. It's a punch in the gut. It's a kick in the groin. And it opens us up. And so, as I contemplate what Kim offered, this beautiful healing for India and protection, is to see that whatever happens to them is beautiful. I'm not calling disaster for these people beautiful. I'm saying that in my projection, even in the lesson that is truly a blessing for these people, however it goes down, all I see is whatever happens to India is beautiful. Period. There's nothing excluded. It's all included. In fact, it gets intruded by spirit. We're supporting India to absolutely be in beauty, whatever that means beyond our present level of awareness of it. Beauty. Beauty is God. Everything's beautiful. But in our perception of beauty, it is in the perception of beauty that God at last will be seen. It is in the perception of beauty at last God will be seen. It is in the perception of beauty at last God will be seen. It is in the perception of beauty at last God will be seen. Because what happens when we see something beautiful? It steals our voice away. It robs us of our breath. It's because it makes, when you see something so beautiful, it's like, oh, you gasp for air. Right? It is in the beauty at last God will be seen. The joy, the expansion, the energy, the aha, wow. That's magic. If you have not touched this beautiful space within yourself, there is something beyond what anyone can possibly imagine, including myself, that is within us. I've touched the garment of God many, many times. I'm grateful. People are beginning to recognize the garden out here is not so fun anymore. It's overgrown with weeds and thorns and goat heads and briars. Gonna be right back. Hello, Cherie Henderson, Kelly Bauman. Tonight we're speaking about center of light tackle. God blocked. Block and tackle. Play on words. Thank you, Darlene. So tonight we're speaking about how to become unblocked emotionally, devotionally, all these different ways people would say or use to describe to someone, I've simply been blocked lately. That's okay. Don't effort to get through the block. You can't get through a block, but you can chip away at it. Hello, Karma Dishasha. So center of light, tackle, God blocked. Where there is no joy in your life, you have been God blocked. Robert says we need to tend to our garden. My brother, capital letters, Robert. I love it. I'm trying to figure out why he types in caps. Robert is such a beautiful soul. He's been so generous to me. He's gifted me this beautiful altar. Robert, thank you. Center of light, tackle, God blocked. So when said block shows up, don't fight. Hello, Rena. Let me announce everyone. Darlene, Link, Carmen, Crystal, Yusuf, Kelly, Peter Coyle, Lynn, Robert, Gail, Kim Gary, the Kim the Lineage, and Melinda Lane. Gonna be right back. I got some reading to do from the Divine Principle. I'm sure I'm gonna go into vessel mode. And I'm no longer going to claim in the very near future when I feel it's appropriate. Call this vessel mode. I don't know how it's going down. I know that this way I'm describing my future as a teacher is meant to be announced this way because everything has its season. So right now, I'm blocked from God for the expansion of what this lesson is for me as a teacher. So right now, I'm not allowed or able to see. It might be tomorrow. I just know it'll come through. And the point of this is there is a season, there's a reason. I don't even know what this shift is. It could be a shift in teaching, a different focus, a different feeling. I may get a greater aha. You may get a greater aha. Many of you may get greater ahas, and it triggers me. And so I know something is coming and something is changing. Everyone is beginning to understand the nonsense in the world. Thank you, Robert. Hello, Debbie. Therese. Keith Anthony Blanchard, Janava. I love this song. This song, I wrote this song many years ago, and I play it all the time. And when I hear this song, I don't hear it from the standpoint as if I was the author of it. I truly don't. I just hear this beautiful piece of music that I didn't realize from many years ago that Bernard wrote the lyrics to. Every time I hear this song and these lyrics, I truly lose footing. I want to lose footing. I want to fall on my ass. I lose footing in what I know as me. And what I've been knowing as me since forever dies a little more. I chip away at the block. I chip away at the God block. Like Da Vinci carving David, the house of David. The son of David is Jesus, the Christed one. Ding, 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 ding. In fact, if you look at this symbol right here, it looks like something was chiseled into stone. I did that for a reason. I've been doing that for years. I forgot why I did this one because it's been with me for so long. In fact, when you see my book promo, at the end, I'll play it in a minute, you'll see the Yanava come up and you hear a hammer chisel hit. So this is truly what we're doing. And this Yanava lays on my heart. And that Yanava is on everyone's heart. That is the divine agreement you have made. That is your divine birthright. And it lives right there. It is you. It is nothing else. There's nothing else you need to work on. You're not blocked. You are free. Dear Lord, you are free. And what we call blocked, I understand. We say that as intention to want to be a little more expansive. Your expansion's coming with or without your diligent hard work to try to rip apart a block by tackling it, wrestling it to the ground. But you truly tackle it when you allow yourself to simply just be happy for no reason. I understand you're wanting of a something beyond which you know. That's beautiful. All you need to do is simply intend just that. Don't you think you were heard? Just do it one time. That's all you need is one time. I trust so much, not only in myself, I trust that I've been heard by the universal consciousness that knows everything. So I'm going to state my declaration and my intention right here and right now, and I will not do it any other time because I trust that I'm heard. This is my intent. For whatever it is, to move through this block so I can experience that which I want, as to why I said I'm blocked. So it will come truly when it's time. And then you get out of the fight. And getting out of the fight releases the hinges. It allows the door to open. There is no fight. It's truly being still. Being still. And then being whatever lies beyond being still in a being still fashion. That's the trick. There's no trick. There's no hocus pocus magic. Lavender Soul. It's a world apart from a man in fear, but there might be a better way to appear. There's a time to trust, a time to love, and a time to know who you are. So let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. Time to celebrate who you are. You're perfect in every way. There is no block.
There's a world apart from a man in fear. There might be a better way to appear. There's a time to trust and a time to love and a time to know what you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. Perfect in every way. So it's up to you, a choice to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to trust and a time to love and a time to know who you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate who you are. Perfect in every perfect in every So it's up to you, a plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love and a time to trust and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
Welcome back to Center of Light, where we have to be clear about everything. This is a particle of God. And this particle makes up your hair, your eyes, your nose, the chair, the phone, my voice, your ears, everything. It's a particle of God. It's omnipresent. This one idea exists everywhere. There's no place it does not exist except in fear. The light, a clear mind. The light, a clear mind. Don't leave this beautiful truth behind. Hello, Donna. Hello, Debbie. All right, let's get down with some Center of Light reading. I want to change the music. Keith Anthony Blanchard, Yanava. Yanava. Heart, clear mind, backbone to carry out our divine parents' wishes. You can still have your own will, your own wishes. Sometimes you got to do the dishes. During the break, as I reflected over the last segment, I was talking about how all these different double entendres, these metaphors for being blocked or not. Blocked is declaring, insinuating, I can't see beyond where I'm at. That's good. That you want out, rather. In is the way out. But I understand. As I also said, I made a meme last night that we always want to be somewhere else other than where we are. But that somewhere else we're looking for is actually where we are. So before the looking, we thought we were blocked. So we want to go there. So we can feel a little bit of joy, a little bit of nectar, a little bit of sex, a little kiss on my face, a little bit of this and that. And I get it. I play in the arena of human every day. When really, what we really want, the place we really want to be is where we are. And so during the break, as I reflected back by using the word block, you can't move through a solid block. You can't do it. But you can chip away at it. And you can carve your own David. In the house of David, Jesus came. How you like that? How all this beautiful song just weaves itself together. I reflected back on what I talked about in the last segment. And I realized a piece of dialogue I got from the Divine Principle, so I grabbed it. This truly describes, again, I want to say thanks to Krista for offering this beautiful show idea. I'm really, really enjoying the energy. Hello, everyone. If I did not name you, Leslie, and the list, thank you. Carolyn Renando, hello, beautiful. One of the first dialogues I had with Spirit from the Divine Principle truly describes this place that we all would call being blocked. Lavender Soul CDs while I'm thinking about it. $5. I'm getting rid of them. $5 and you pay the shipping. $7. I will send you this CD. Let the love of God fall upon you. Right? Let me know. One of my first dialogues with Spirit in 1996. Listen, this is great. It's fun. You know, you don't have to read my book thinking it's truth. Read it as a fiction. Read it as a science fiction. It'll still work. So from the Divine Principle that we are speaking about, Center of Light tackle, being God blocked. Spirit says, one of my first, again, I say this because I want to make it important. It's important that you understand this is one of the first dialogues I had in 1996 for the reason that this is how it all unfolded for me. And the intention of the book, that's the words I'm looking for. It's the intention of the book from its very beginning. Spirit says, I know that my recent arrival in your life has seemed both a blessing and a curse. I'm good where I'm at. I'm not good where I'm at, so I want to go forward to where I think I'm going to need to be, and so forth. It's been both a blessing and a curse. A rose under your nose and a thorn in your mind. When I first made audible contact with you, Keith, you were so very excited, but you were also quite frightened because you did not know just how to handle what was happening. You had moments when you thought you were special, and moments when you feared that you were schizophrenic. And I said, yes, I've definitely been through a lot. Yes, all of your life I have watched you bounce back and forth between these two extremes in hopes of finding your true self. It's not this, it's not that. It's not I'm blocked, it's not I'm unblocked. It's even not being unblocked. Well, how can that be? You're either blocked or you're not. It's even beyond unblocked. And how do I know that? Because I just impregnated you with the seed that there's something beyond these two ideas that we can't really extrapolate or grasp just yet. But we have a good taste of it. It's beyond all the noise of duality. I come to you now because you've exhibited such passion to live a better life. I come to you because of your newly awakened love for me and because of my ongoing eternal love for you. You see, you and I are not different at all. For we share the same intention. You ready for this? To chip away at the beliefs that you thought were set in stone and to carve you into the most beautiful masterpiece ever known, God. Keith, I cannot begin to tell you the ways your life will change, nor can I allay all your worries about what may happen when this book circulates. Let me get through some of that. Even though many of you right now have no idea what you will do with what you are receiving, it is enough for you to know that this message comes from God. Fret not about those who may doubt you or scoff at what you say and or do, for they may not be ready to hear it or see it. You can put your mind and heart at ease nonetheless, knowing that everyone walks the path at their own pace. As I pour my light into your mind and my love into your heart. Wow! Just make the supreme effort to remain open. I'm not blocked. Relax and aware in every moment, even when I'm speaking directly to others. Only then can you integrate all my information. How am I doing so far? I mean, the path I'm on. Keith, you have already done some fine work on yourself. But now the real work begins. Of course, this applies to everyone. Between now and forever, I ask you that you gather people, one at a time if you have to, but gather them do. Embrace each of your brothers and sisters without discrimination. That even means those people in the vaccination, COVID-19, said I wasn't going to talk about it, I'm not talking about it, arena, that is your greatest teacher because of their negative polarity. It says, love each and all of your brothers and sisters without discrimination. That is called forgiveness. I love it. I don't have to like them because it hurts people, but I love them. And treat them with the same love I bestow upon you. Be they enemies, friends, relatives, or strangers. Embrace every little spark of God. Your journey will be smoother if you accept the fact through everything I am here. I am so glad to be able to ask you all the questions I've wanted to ever ask if I got the chance. You know, the ones that could change the world if we had those answers. Well, you're not the only one with questions. Here are some, Keith, that I ask you. From whence did you come? Did you have an identity before you were born? Why were you born? This applies to you. Why were you born? What is this energy that was given a name at birth? Who are you now? Where are you going? Christ, Buddha, and many other teachers have taught the message of unity with spirit, and teachers still come bearing the same message. Look within to know God, and all of them say that the profound cannot be found in a church nor in belief, but only in the temple of your heart. If you wish to play a game, play the game that will spin you off the fear time wheel once and for all. I cannot emphasize enough that you must always try to make your spiritual work fun. There is no block. Because having fun is what keeps you in the God state. No more God block. Nothing for you to tackle. Because having fun is what keeps you in the God state. Totally unaware of time. Tell me, when you're having fun, where does the time go? It simply disappears. Have you noticed the heaviness that often comes over you when you look at a watch or a clock and realize there is something you feel you have to do that will take you away from your fun? Because your consciousness link to God gets broken when you do something that you would not choose to do, but do it anyway. That is when you move from the eternal fun to the dreaded time. When this happens, it only means that you've shifted from the heart to the head, from love to fear. I ask you, Keith, why would you not let God lighten your load, ease your earthly responsibilities? I say habit, and Spirit says, can you be any more vague? And I say, well, that's what came to mind. You are having to work so hard because you still carry the feeling over from your childhood that you are not good enough. You still think that you must prove to others that you will come through in their times of need. This is the kind of stuff that has blocked my light from entering you. Hauling these having to do burdens is why you sometimes feel yourself emotionally and physically exhausted. If you keep it up, it is your body that will pay the price in the end. You must realize that you can serve me in a far greater way than by trying to find love through approval. I need you, loved one, not to find love. Don't go to that future place. That's not really, though you think that's where you want to be for your joy. It's right here, right now. But I understand it. You want to expand and you feel blocked because you can't get there fast enough. I get it. You must realize you can serve me in a far greater way than by trying to find love through approval. I need you, loved ones, not to find love, but to be loved. That means here and now. This is your greatest responsibility, and I promise that meeting it will be no burden on you and will benefit everyone. Until then, if you should ever feel overloaded, blocked, do the exercise you just learned. That will let you bring consciousness back into your heart. I absolutely know what it is like to live in duality because I watch all of you as you make your choices and then have to deal with their consequences. I know it's not easy, but the truth is that these are your choices. These are your choices. You can live by Spirit's guidance or by human rationale. You can live in trust or live with anxiety and desperation. You can choose universal knowledge or planetary ignorance. You can invite peace and love into your heart, or you can hold anger and fear and confusion in your gut. Dear one, the duality that troubles you can end at any time, because you have already evolved enough to realize how much judging yourself the way you sometimes do has blocked your path to wholeness. What this is saying is that judgment creates the blocks of not being able to see. Because I'm choosing not to see, because I'm choosing judgment as a filter in between myself and what I fail to see as beautiful. So I'm blocked, I'm God blocked, because I can't see beauty. When we see or perceive beauty, at last we see God. When we use our perception to see and be with beauty, we see God. Universal knowledge or planetary ignorance. It's here. It's right here, right now. Hello, Joe. Callan Ronaldo says we all have a gift. Everybody is illumined and on fire if they only pull out their matches from their pocket. You're right, sister. So, in the reading of this divine principle, this last one, judgment, of calling us something other than beautiful, and thank you for that beautiful, compassionate prayer, Kim, for India. When we see what's happening to anyone, ourselves, India, people who you care about, people you don't like at all, as something beautiful, it's the only way that we begin to open our eyes to actually be able to see God as a presence in our life. Joy is evidence of the presence of God. Joy is evidence of the presence of God. Joy doesn't mean, oh, I'm happy. That's not what joy is. I'm happy usually implies I got everything I need. I got my chair. I got my $1,000 cell phone. And that's cool. I'm not judging that at all. That's happiness. I got stuff. And I deserve stuff. Joy is something that so supersedes and surpasses that on levels most people never allow them to step foot on that themselves, foot on that shore. They just don't do it. Joy, what's up, Jack? Joy is all that, because the is all that is only that big. Joy is all of that. It's all of that. That's joy. I'm just joyful. I'm gleeful. I could break my toe on a piece of furniture right now and laugh at myself. I might ooh and ow, oh my God, it hurts. Notice the words I use, oh my God. So I'm bringing him into the equation immediately. And you will feel what you call pain. But you're okay with breaking your toe in the furniture versus getting on Facebook and posting, everybody, I broke my foot. You get my point. Joy is evidence of the presence of God. There really is no block. But I understand the idea, the model of how it is very serving and purposeful that we say, okay, I'm blocked. I'm humbling myself to something I know nothing about, because if I knew everything about it, I wouldn't state that I'm said blocked. So I'm humble. It's my God. In fact, being blocked is God. So your God block is not being blocked. The block is actually God. So you're not God blocked. God is the block. And it wants to be seen in the situation so you can find your joy. Because when we perceive joy at last, then God becomes known, becomes seen, becomes visible. So your block is basically God standing there and saying, all right, I'm your parent. Because I love you, you got to get through me. Block. Just being happy, just being joyful. even in your block. And when we are happy and joyful, even in our said blocks, give them their due. Respect those things, because there are landmarks that are written in books and chapters in the books, in the book of universal love, in the Hall of Akashic Records, that say John Doe on May 19th moved through this block. And everyone in the future, anyone in the cosmos at any point can go back and look upon your life and go, this is how they do it. Here's the entry into the universal log. So it's a beautiful place to be. So we should not try to get out of blocks, but we should tackle them. And I don't mean dismantle them, but chip away at the stone to find our own beautiful self. That's how we get out of the block that was never really there in the first place. But it feels so real, I know. I've had many of them. It feels so real. Okay, acknowledge how real it feels. I say this often. How powerful is this? Situation, it's real. The light's on. Here's the situation. It's a big ball of energy and it's thick. The first thing that has to happen in this ball of energy that's so thick, it truly makes you want to clutch it with a closed fist. And what does closed fist do? We fight with closed fists. So we're ready to get engaged. We get ready to fight because my fist is closed and I'm clenching around and I'm pissed off. Well, that's what happens in a fight. You're clenching around an idea, your fist closes, and you're pissed off. And you're ready to engage in a violent way. So when someone stands in front of you and they're blocking you from getting to your car, you want to fight. I understand that these are all metaphors. So we clench around an idea and we block. The first thing that has to happen from even your past experiences that you may still be unconsciously blocked, that's causing ongoing unconscious trouble in your life. The first thing that has to happen for those experiences and the ones that will come up in life is this. You have to open your hand. You have to fall. Let go of what you think is happening. Let go of the rope of what you think is let go of the what you think is happening rope. And then you fall because you're no longer fighting with a closed fist, punching shit in the face. So you let go and you fall. It's the first thing that has to happen. You have to open your hand. You have to open your grasp. Let go. And as you fall, now you can look. Now you can look. And you're looking. Do you see? Stay with it. No, I don't see it. Exactly. Stay with it. Keith, I've been sitting here for 1,000 years. Exactly. Stay with it. Are you serious? Do you expect me to stay here for 1,000 years? Yeah, I do. I can't do that. Yes, you. No, okay, I believe you. The point is, when one is simply willing to shift from this to that, just by entertaining the idea, it's not going to take 1,000 years, but if it does, I'm truly willing to do that. That brings you literally at least to the halfway point. There is no block. It's truly turning the key. So what I am saying, so you have this, to that, to that, to that, to that. This is beyond words. These are not little, these are tricks. And I don't mean that in a trivial way. These are truly shortcut desk icons on your laptop or your desktop. Did you hear that? That's my neighbor up there. Wow. But these are jumping stones, stepping stones to launch yourself into a space of radical transformation right here, right now. So everything I've always described since I started this crazy nonsense from what we knew as normal 3.5 whatever years ago. One thing I've always been saying, and I've been using different words, is there's no place to be. It's just that. Well, what is the that? Exactly. When you get that, I can't explain it to you. It's just a something that always is, and it lingers. And it wants nothing. It's just there. It's a presence. And in that simple presence, that you have to be still to know it. In your stillness to know it, you will realize it's always moving. As long as we're moving, we can't see that which is moving. It's only when we're still we can see a higher, greater dynamic, more subtle, powerful dynamic that's moving. But we have to be as subtle and quiet as the subtle dynamic of the universe that we want to experience. There is no other way. You have to vibrate subtly with that which you subtly want to experience, which is the finest vibration in the universe, which is God. It's love, it's peace. It's the highest frequency. In fact, it's so high, it is that which births all frequencies below it. So it really, in and of itself, is not really a frequency. As in a sound, it is, but it's more of a frequency. How often, how frequent, and it's always constant. It never stops. In fact, there is no way in the world of duality, listen to this for an example. In the world of duality, you can never keep your house, never, a constant 75 degrees. You can't do it. You can't do it. Because the way a thermostat regulates, when it gets above and beyond that, it engages the other central unit component. So things are always fluctuating. God is always moving. But it takes one to be absolutely still to recognize a frequency that is the first movement beyond being absolutely still. That's where the good stuff is. What is the good stuff? It's that joy. It's not just being happy. Happiness is great. I love me some happiness. I want some more happiness. I want to go deeper. Just deeper, simply deeper. How do you do that, Keith? You don't do anything. If you've been doing something, you're doing it wrong. Let's look at some questions. Welcome to Center of Light. Jack says, hi. What's up, bro? Happiness is an illusion. Thank you, Robert. Better said than I. Agreed. Hi, Claudia. Robert says, well, if you get rid of the effing mirror in front of me. Carolyn says, good blocks. I think she's asking, or blocks? Are you saying, Keith, that blocks are good? In this regard, in this lesson, in this way, yes. Meaning, the block is truly trying to show me something. It's trying to show me you have been stopped for a reason. Find that reason and simply you move through it. So it becomes a landmark, a period of graduation. We all go through levels. We go through level changes and shifts, open doors, whatever, these periods. These periods that we recognize as landmarks are very important because right now you can think about your child's first birthday. Pretty important, isn't it? Pretty gorgeous, isn't it? So in such a way, these all have purpose. But God blocks, good blocks, God blocks, I think blocks are good. You know, I was in a relationship for 10 years. It went bad. That was a horrible block. If I knew what I know now, I never would have went through it. But because I didn't, it's strangely, ironically, it's God's grace to say, I love you so much, I'm going to stand in front of you and say, you should not pass. Until I become a true wizard with my life. And then I look back and I realize my parents' tough love. If that makes sense. Dale Bradshaw. What's up, brother? Robert says, may the stick of the Schwartz be with you. I love it. Joe Schruger. Carolyn says, in sync is when we fulfill the purpose. Kim Gary says she loves it. Somebody's talking about cheese puff. Robert. Let's see who's here. I'm going to take one small break and come back and wrap up this cray delicious fun that I have every time I'm with you. Block. I understand it. It's an idea. This is what I want. And as I try to move forward, I'm stopped by an idea, a non-belief in myself, something I'm not quite sure that exists, or whether I might deserve it, or a little bit of all that. Maybe it's a little bit of a doubt gumbo. I'm not deserving Cajun gumbo. I hear you. I've drank a lot of dirty water, eaten a lot of bad food, so to speak. But it teaches us how horrible we feel after we do such things. And we realize these are not toys I want to play with anymore. We stop putting our hand on the hot plate. These are God blocks. But they're also God passages. They are rites of passage, actually. Every God block you have is truly a rite of passage, because you have to write yourself in such a way to move through it. Hello, lockdown. You have to be pure to vibrate to the frequency that is beyond what is being said to happen in the outside world, present day. These God blocks are truly God passageways. They're there for a reason. The truth is a kick in the groin, a punch in the belly, solar plex, chop in the throat, knock on the head with a hammer. So, as we look for the diamond, we can't find it. And when we open up one day because we're hungry, we want some protein, we open up the peanut butter jar. The diamond is in the peanut butter jar. The diamond in a peanut butter jar is still a diamond, though it may be all covered with sticky stuff. Are you willing to lick that diamond clean? The diamond in the peanut butter jar is still a diamond. So, likewise, get you some jelly and make yourself a spiritual love nugget sandwich. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go into vessel mode. I'm going to play Till You Walk By. My life has changed when all of you have walked by and we become not friends, lovers.
Till you walk by.
We're already doing that. We've been quarantined. We had never experienced this before. Other countries, many years ago, even, well, America did, back in the Depression and all these plagues. But we, you, me, it's our turn to look at a block. How does it look? Are you seeing something beautiful? Or are you looking at a crook? Made you look, you stole your mama's pocketbook. Center of light. Talking about tackle. Center of light tackle. God blocked. God is your block. God is standing in front of you and saying, you shall not pass. And it's not this mighty force that's that. It's just simple. You can't pass. You just can't pass. Maybe it's not time. But I want it. That's beautiful. That's great. And it's recognized. Now that you've expressed your desire to be further into the garden, leave it alone. You've been hurt. And in so leaving it alone, you hasten the experience. It's the control of having it that makes it, in fact, it becomes idolatry. A wanting of a something other than God that lives within me right here and right now. And in that realization is everything that can possibly be. So naturally, by law, your expression of said space brings that to you. And if you don't get it, it doesn't matter. Because you're in the garden. You know, being in a... Let's liken this. It's a hot summer day and you want to go swimming. Swimming pool is the garden. The ice cream in the garden is having a floaty thing to play with. But if you don't get the floaty thing to play with, you are completely okay with that. And in so being in that space, everyone sees you playing very nice. And someone says, John Doe, would you like my raft? There is no block. But being realistic, people do get blocked. God blocked. I'm blocked. I want information. As I said earlier, authors have what's called writer's block. Some of them can't. Some authors can't write for 2 years or however long it takes. Sometimes it could be just a dry spell, as it's called, a month or so. It's all purposeful. It's a season, because in the blocking of it itself is where we do our best digging. Dig me? It is in the block that we do our best digging. You didn't know you were a spiritual gold miner, were you? You are a spiritual miner of gold. I want to live. I want to give. I've been a miner of a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never hear that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood, I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. This is what you want. That is not. This is the teaching I've been saying for 4 years. Said many different ways under many different titles. This is what you want. That is the place we create to find ourselves, only to realize in hindsight, this is what I've always wanted. Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Islam, Hindi, Jainism, Judaism. This right here is what you want. But I'm blocked. I hear you. It's okay. It's okay to be blocked. Now what? being blocked or declaring or stating it to oneself can be the pinnacle of something new, depending one person's desire to go into now what. I'm blocked. This is a landmark. I'm blocked. I've made my declaration. I stated my intention. Now you introduce now what. It is in that now what. Listen to me very carefully. It is in that now what which reveals the bridge that one can begin to walk to cross into the garden of the soul. Okay, said situation, bridge out. Ding, 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 ding. Bridge out. There's a sign. A red light flashing. Bridge out. So you pull all the way up to the bridge or the train track because the train's coming. Choo-choo. Whoo, whoo. It's coming. So you got to pause, a standstill, a block. The road has been blocked. There's a train coming, y'all. You don't want to mess with that kind of momentum and that kind of energy, that kind of power. Your divine parent says, sorry, you can't pass. And the train's coming. But when the train passes finally, when you are stopped dead in the block, the God block, when the spiritual train finally passes, do you finally go? The train is passed. Now what? And now what immediately fires off? Put your foot on the accelerator and cross over the train track. So you move forward. But you got to live in the now what? The now what's happening is already gone. And so the now what's happening is already gone. And that now what's happening is already gone. So you're constantly progressing and processing through this endless sea of horseshit until you get to the horse. And then you will finally have your horsepower when you find yourself living in a stable state. Let me go to Vessel. Thank you. Your love beyond measure. Let's see what's happening in the room. Carolyn says, thank you, good night. Carolyn, I love you. I've been knowing you, I'm guessing, please correct me, 2 years? No? I got to kiss that beautiful face of yours once at the Spirit Fair. Thank you. I appreciate you being here and your support and your presence in this world. Hello, Karen. Robert Harrison says, heart of gold. I love Neil Young, bro. Neil Young, quote, what is the color when black is burned? Wow! There's something else. Well, black is black. It's going to, well, that's not what he's asking. He's using this as a trigger. Trigger? Roy Rogers' horse, as we just spoke about, true horsepower. Kim Delaney. Katarina, what's up, Katarina? What's up, Lilia Byram? Lilia, I do want to get you back on the show if you accept my offer. All right, let me go into Vessel. Let's see who's here. Let me see if I can make this happen. Everyone in this room, send me an exclamation point. Even if you're outside the room and don't want to come into the forum, just everyone send me one exclamation point. Let's do it. That says 17 people. Everyone on YouTube do the same. Just send me an exclamation point. Triggers, lessons, learners. Yes. Lynn says, thank you, Keith. Yanava. Blessings, dear. Exclamation point. It's just a way to connect. It's a way to be present. It's like church. Why do people go to church? To connect. To be a part of the same idea. And here they come. Irene Kennedy. Hello, beautiful. Claudia. Exclamation point. Debbie. Please, if you would, just for the sake of it, everyone in this forum, or whatever forum you're in, send an exclamation point. Why not? Why not do it? Robert says, black is black. I want my baby back. Everyone's responding. Thank you. So in the intention, Link says, boom. In the intention to all connect, we all connect. Melinda's stepping it up. 3 exclamation points and a comma. So, thank you. So I'm going to go into vessel mode. I always love these moments because honestly, what it feels like to me, for me, is I have to let go. No more God block. A part of me it's ego driven, and it's actually beautiful. The ego is not a God block For God's sake, stop it. The ego is not a God block. The ego is your beautiful individuality. Snowflake. Sometimes we just pervert it. So the part of my ego that's healthy keeps me centered, keeps me a good teacher, keeps me on point. I understand where you came from with your last words or intention and heart space, where you are now, and all the different possibilities of where this can go, and be selective. I don't do this. I do it consciously, but I don't do it hyper-focused consciously. In other words, I'm not like squinting and trying to hear and hear and hear. All these different possibilities truly fall into my consciousness. And I say, let it happen. And then I find myself truly as the one choosing beyond what I've always known as being conscious. Because I truly fall into a state of consciousness and let it choose for me. Rhymes, reasons, times, seasons. It just happens. Doesn't make me special. It makes me grateful and to say, this is what it could look like for you, but it doesn't have to look this way for you. You can do this by dancing, standing on your head, being a chef, whatever it is you do. Because in such a way, it will morph you into your birthright, your divine, your rite of passage. Versus it being a God blocked, it becomes a God passageway. So out of all my teachings for 4 years, many years, but for 4 since I've been doing these presentations, there is it's a very simple thing. Everything falls under this guise. A mask? No. This guise, this facade, a way of seeing things. So do you see things? Do you see things? Or do you see things? Or do you see things? See. All of my teachings are truly about there is nothing wrong anywhere. There's nothing broken. There's nothing to do except what you want. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Let's start another day. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. When we understand there's nothing to do, I am truly cared for in every moment, no matter how dark it may appear. I'm learning this through quarantine. And in its own way, it's very beautiful. I'm discovering the diamond as I lick the peanut butter stank off of it. Yanava. Spirit speaks. This is crazy. I love it. Are you listening? In that is everything. There's no nonsense in there. Listen. Suddenly through the silence, the new world simply appears. Do you see it? That's it. This is the kingdom Master Jesus Christ spoke about. I'm going to reveal it to you again. Not that you don't see it already. Listen. It's that. Are you finding your way in there? Of course you are. You're getting used to navigating in there, aren't you? Good. Check it out. Keep doing it. It's like you're surfing. It's like you're dancing around God blocks, are you not? You're dancing around them. Actually, chipping away what you thought was real. Because in the quiet is everything. Listen. Listen to the quiet. It's loud. You might hear the music, but what is happening in the empty space of the music? Now that you hear the music, listen to the music. Hear the drums and the hand chimes and all that. Listen. Focus on that. It's called music. But what actually creates the music is not the notes. It's the empty space. So now that you can focus on the music, do that again. Listen to the music, the drums, and the hands. Now that you got that, keep that there and let the real part of you fall back while you keep that there and listen to the empty space between the notes. You can still hear the music, but there is something else that exists subtly, far more powerful than that which you perceive with your ears and calling it music. Do you hear that? You are not God blocked. God blocked is an idea. I respect the power it has in our lives that says this is a period and that you cannot pass. One, because you simply cannot see past this block. Or maybe it's just not time. So the goal either way is to be in joy, simply because it's a choice. Let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. Time to celebrate who you are. Divine, sexy human child. You are perfect in every way. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. I will see you soon. July 31st, 2020. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul will be released. I could sure use your support. I will support you in everything, as I always do. You, my friend, I love beyond measure.